This could possibly be one of my most underrated genres, open world games. These games give the player the most freedom and most decision making out of a game, and it isn't boring or straight to the point like linear games that give you only one goal. So in today's video, I'll be starting my open world game for the first time. So let's get right into it. I'd like to also make this a story game as well, just so there's some lore and to make it pretty interesting. So first I'm just going to make most of the GUI elements so we can already have them for future purposes. And I think I'll also like this be the classic style since it's more of a popular style to make as well. So I'm going to use the sort of arcade font. Alright, I'm back, and sorry I forgot to record, but anyways, I've got some animations here. I changed the character a bit to make it blocky. So I just went with this sort of choppy look, just to give it a unique style, I guess. And we got some actions here, so we have side steps, so like that, or rolls to the left to right, and then you can also roll forward, or dash forward, I guess. Now I think this next movement is pretty cool. It's just the Mario triple jump. So this is basically how it is in like every 3D Mario game. So you have 3 unique jumps. So I'll show you mine here. So we go 1, 2, 3. And it increases the player's height. So they have 3 states, which is the single jump, the double jump, and the triple jump. Now this one took a while to do, just to figure out, but I didn't really need any online guide help, but maybe just to change it up a bit. So let's go inside the script here, and we have our modules here, some surfaces, some of the player arguments, some values here, and animations, and some other values just for easy use. And here's the roll to the left, so just takes in the move module. So in the player handler, so this takes in a side, which is the string, so I don't have to make 2 functions for the left and right side. So this will take in tween surface, and they'll just find the goal. So this will be the negative direction of the humanoid root part, or the right direction. So if side is left, then it'll get the goal direction of the left side, and then the right side for that. And I'll just make a tween, and then we'll play it. And this will also make sure the player won't move. So it's about the same for the front roll, so we just take the forward direction instead though. So the lick vector, and then we play an animation. Sprint, it's about the same as the dungeon game, but I just did not add the tween service. Alright, next we have the jumping system. So this takes in a state change, and this takes in the can jump bool value and the current jump number value. So the can jump is just a cooldown value, and the current jump describes the jumping state the player is in. So this will play the animations. So this is the single jump here, and this is the second jump, and this is the third jump. And you'll notice for each of these they have a jump power. So we'll change it so it'll be different. So this will take in the original jump power of the humanoid, and this is where it will allow the player to advance through the jumping system. So this will allow the player to jump again, since if it can find the can jump is true. But if they don't do it in time while the can jump is true, then it'll just reset. And this is where we bind in all these actions here for context action service. Alright, so it's the next day, and we got some things done. So this here is the teleporter. It will teleport you to the selected map. And you'll notice we also have a sword here, and we can also attack. Now I actually did change the limbs because the sword wouldn't attach really, and it's just a bit frustrating trying to get it to weld to the arm. So I just decided to bring it back. And that also meant I had to do most of the animations all over, so all the jump animations and walking and falling. So let's go over to the test level here, and you'll notice we have a transition here. So these are just some damage rigs. You just do that, and you'll see we'll have a highlight over it just to show. Now it's dead. You can tell because it won't show the highlight again. But if I do it for this one, which is, yeah, you get the idea. But this is all I have right now. I'm trying to get as much done as I can here. I just decided to put in this new tree model here. I think I might add more just for different variation, and should also make different assets too. Also, these cubes basically are just the spawn area for each location. Alright, so I'm back, and some things may seem a bit different. As for one, my character looks like this right now, and some of the assets are gone because my internet is off, including my power. I'm just going to combine all these maps together, and with the help of culling, it shouldn't really affect performance that much. if there's like a bunch of zones. So this text is just for you got a gold brick, which is what you're going to get, which is the main, I don't know, subject. And then this top one is going to be for what zone you're going to enter. So in all of these zones, there's actually, I renamed them to zones instead of maps. So they all have this zone box, which once touched, it will show this text then. You got all these errors for animations and textures. Alright, so my internet's back, and it's been a day. I just woke up from it turning back on at 12 a.m. But anyways, we got the zone system here. So you got your zone value here, which describes what zone the player is in. So again, that zone part, once I touch this part, it'll say spawn area. And also, we got the brick collection system working. So if I just go here, gold brick, testing brick. This table here will be just to check for once I add data stores, just to check if the player hasn't already got that specific golden brick. So next I would like to add enemies just to make it interesting. And now also the music changes based on what zone you're in, but I'm not really gonna turn my volume up. Alright, we are back and I've added the enemies. So I'm still having the same problem with only one working, but it does work pretty well. So okay, yeah, he comes right after you. And he also attacks, but it shouldn't be too hard. And then boom, he's down, and then he'll just despawn after 2 seconds. Also for the brick system, I have the counter working now, so like that. Well, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I'd like to see you guys' feedback on this game, and if you guys would really like to do this. I'll try to do the dungeon game at the same time as well, if I can, but I'll see you guys later.